Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Ivory Coast, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Excellency, Prime Minister of Togo, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are very happy to be having the AGRF this year, the 7th AGRF in Abidjan. I don't think that there's any of you that doesn't feel touched by the beauty of this city, one of the most beautiful cities on this continent. So thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, Your Excellency, for accepting to host us. Thank you for accepting to provide leadership. We came here looking for leadership for Africa's agriculture. You accepted to take on that responsibility, but you also accepted to get other leaders to be part of the leadership we are looking for West Africa, and we're extremely grateful for that. The AGRF, which is 7 years now, 7 years old, started in 2010, mostly by the private sector, looking to find ways of engaging in African agriculture, given the challenges that we all know that private sector getting to establish would face, working with smallholder farmers. 7 years down the road, we've made a lot of strides, but the most significant stride, I would say, is our ability to bring our leadership on board. The AGRF since last year has seen the engagement of governments, the interest of governments, and the willingness to have discussions around what we need to be doing differently. This year's AGRF is focusing on how to galvanize Africa's smallholder farmers so that we have an inclusive agriculture that becomes the basis of creating jobs, of food self-sufficiency for our continent. On Monday, we started with political dialogue, basically, lots of discussions that looked at the things that we need to be discussing to get women to be more involved in Africa's agriculture, to get youth to be at the center of what we are doing. Yesterday, on Tuesday, we launched a report, the Africa Agricultural Status Report, that looks at what has worked in the rest of the world, but also what has worked in this continent itself, because we have very good examples to learn from, and what we need to be doing going forward, the kind of partnerships we need to be building. Today, we will be talking about what we started last year. Last year, worried that Africa's agriculture is going to be losing momentum because we've seen the ups and downs of investing in African agriculture. Worried that we would be losing momentum, we launched the Seize the Moment campaign under the leadership of the African Union, and Madam Commissioner of Agriculture for African Union is here. So under that leadership, we got to galvanize interest from lots of partners for this continent, but also lots of private sector. Today, one of the things that's going to be happening is listening to what happened since, but also listening to new momentum and new interest. And my chair, Mr. Strive Masiwa, will go a little bit more into that. Tomorrow, we will be talking about deals, making deals in the agriculture sector. And I don't think there's any better place to be talking about making deals in the agriculture sector than Ivory Coast, because I don't know one single commodity where Ivory Coast is not the world's producer, whether it's pineapples, whether it's coffee. When I was a kid, I knew that Ivory Coast was the world's producer of coffee. Today, we need to keep that momentum going. Today, Ivory Coast is the world's producer of cashew, pineapple, nearly everything. So there's no better place to be talking about driving business deals in agriculture than this Ivory Coast, but also than West Africa in general, because we are going to be talking about what happens in this region in general. And tomorrow is the day we make the deals. On Friday, we'll be talking about the telephone, one of the biggest and most efficient tools now in our hands. Nearly every farmer out there has a telephone or is going to be getting a telephone. How do we take advantage of this? How do we reach our farmers better? But also, how do we deliver services better? It's something that is on all our minds, and we'll be talking about this. My hope coming out of this conference, Your Excellencies, is that we think through the type of partnerships we need to be making as institutions to ensure that we stop being the last continent in this world to achieve food security for our people. We stop being the last continent that has 230 million hungry people, because we have everything we need. We have the brains, but we have the leadership, most importantly, from Your Excellencies, and we look forward to that. So let me take this opportunity to introduce to you my chair, the chairman of my board, Strive Masiwa, who has, since Monday, taken it upon himself to engage African youth. Yesterday he was in Togo. No, 2 days ago he was in Togo. Yesterday he was talking to over 500 youth here in Ivory Coast. Tomorrow he's going on to Ghana, and he will go on and on. The idea is Strive believes in the future of this continent through its youth. I saw a tweet from one of the youth yesterday, and one of the statements that struck me was, "You already have what you need in your hands." How can we help our youth use what they already have in their hands to not throw themselves in the seas, but to work and grow our continent?